going live, and you are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 16-0 New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Seattle Seahawks. Why the Seattle Seahawks 0-16? Because they suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody at all out there, anybody going to spend any time with me at all this evening, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or anybody spend any time at all watching the replay of this, once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight as I shoot my mouth off here, as I try to every night. Anybody, I check on the chat box, every so often. So, anybody has anything to say, comments, concerns, whatever, just fire away, throw it in the chat box. I check on them. And for the most part, any comment that gets put in there, I try to respond to. So just feel free, fire away. And before I get started, all right, if you want to help me support my channel, it would mean so much to me. I greatly, greatly would appreciate it. There's a link in the description box below. You can click on it. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second one is called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third one is called the Gridiron, if you really want to help support my channel. Each one's got their own little different perks and all that and everything. There's loyalty badges. They're pretty cool. The loyalty badges are tells you how long you've been supporting the channel, and they're a different helmet from the Giants starting from this year and going back in the past. Then there's different emojis. There's 4 different emojis. I'll be putting a 5th one out there soon. Each one's a different one too. It's pretty cool. But if you want to help support my channel, as I said, it's right in the description box, top link. Just please feel free to click on it. Help support my channel. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, okay, just go down below, click on the subscribe button. All right. And click the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put out a video, you'll be notified. Right. And then also, see in the description box below, a little bit below the membership level, the link is I have there's a Facebook group that I have. It's called oddly enough called the Gridiron. It's got 1,800 members. So if you want to join, just click on the link below. I put new. I every day I'm putting 3, 4, 5 new different articles or whatever, posts. Some of the members put stuff in there as well too. So there's usually every day is like 5 to 10 different things going up in there. So if you want to join that, and then also I got as a page as well too. It's called the Gridiron as well. There's a link in there, description box below too. Same thing there. At least 5 different things, sometimes 10. Every day gets put in there. Right now I have about 255 or 260 who like it, and I got like over 300 people who are following the page. So if you want to, like and follow that as well, that would mean so much to me. Thank you guys so much. But enough of that. Now let's. We got. I saw some articles that were pretty cool. One of them was talking about it was kind of like it was like the combo package. Okay, it was kind of like Saquon Barkley, right? So right now it's kind of like what they're calling. It's kind of like the favorite to be like the NFL comeback player of the year. He's great. He's having a fabulous year and he will deserve whatever accolades come his way. And in his article, it's from Big Blue View. All right, it says. Whoever wrote this, I'm not sure who the heck wrote this here. Don't know. Oh, Ed Valentine. Let's see here. He said, for my money, though, a different member of the New York Giants is one who should be talked about for the comeback award. Now, there's something that the Giants, going to have to, make a decision on tomorrow. Okay, about Nick Gates. But getting back to Saquon just for a minute, like what he's done so far. Okay, this year. All right, it's just been, very, very, he has over 900 yards, 726 rushing yards, okay, 5.1 yards per carry. He's got 25 of 30 targets he caught, so basically 5 out of every 6 balls that go his way. One of them I remember he dropped. It was a screen pass he dropped. But for 180 yards, nothing super spectacular, 7.2 yards per reception. Doesn't have any touchdowns receiving, but he's got 4 overall. But he's averaging over 100. He's averaging over 103 yards per game rushing, which is very, very impressive. Now you got to figure, we don't have maybe the most stellar offensive line. We don't even have a starting tight end. We don't really have any starting wide receivers out there. I mean, you got Wan'Dale Robinson, you have Darius Slayton. Okay, but if you took the starting offensive people that the Giants have and put them on like the Eagles wouldn't be undefeated. I can guarantee you that. The Eagles are undefeated because they got Goddard, their starting tight end. They got Brown, and they got DeVonta Smith. Right, our first 3 starting wide receivers aren't playing. They're not playing, and now our starting tight end is out for probably multiple weeks. So, so I mean, what he's able to do, and he's the focal point. Right. And he's still leading the league in, total yards from scrimmage. So what are we at? 7 games. So we're not even at the halfway point. He has over 900 yards. I mean, so you figure after 14 games, just at the rate he's going. Okay. He's, let's see here. If I can figure that out here. Well, let's see. If I can figure this out here real fast here with my handy dandy calculator here. All right, so he has what the heck's he got? 726 plus 180, 906 divided by 7. Yeah, we should read that one up. So 906. Okay. All right, so we got 906 divided by 7, averaging 129 yards per game. Very impressive. 129 times 17. He's on pace for almost 2,200 yards of total offense. Very, very impressive. 2,200 yards. Now, he's not going to, break anybody's record. I mean, he's not going to break the rushing record. I mean, he's like, so it'd be nice if he did, but, but he's on pace, for a very, very nice season. Very nice season, okay, which would certainly bring him accolades, maybe possibly comeback player of the year, but also in this article here, they're talking about this guy, Valentine's talking about, for me, if the Giants add offensive lineman Nick Gates to the 53-man roster this week, he becomes the comeback player of the year, period. It's been less than 14 months. And now let's not forget, right? It was the second week of the season last year. I guess it was the second quarter maybe, against the, at the time, the Washington football team, when he snapped his leg. Right. So now we played 7 games here. That was the second. So it's, like 14 months, right? A little less than 14 months, right? Since that happened, since Gates suffered that hard left leg fracture in week 2 against the Washington football team. There was concern. Actually, it was, that was also talking about like him maybe possibly losing his leg, period, and here it is less than 14 months later. And he's practicing to maybe make the team. Crazy. All right. And also possibly, maybe his career was over. Maybe he could function as a human being and walk and all that stuff and everything, but possibly play in the NFL ever again. That seemed kind of remote as well. But I'll tell you what, boy. Don't tell him that, huh? There were 7 surgeries to fix the damage. There was a metal rod holding that leg together. There's been incredible, long, painstaking rehab to get Gates to a point where he might now be a real NFL player again. Unbelievable. Now we got Gates is still on the PUP list, but he's been practicing with the team for the past 3 weeks. The Giants have until Wednesday, tomorrow, to decide whether to add Gates to the 53-man roster or to leave him sidelined for the remainder of the season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's one or the other. He's either on it or he's off for the whole season. And, I mean, obviously, they're going to do what's best for him and the team and all that and everything. But, I mean, if they don't put him on the team, right, I mean, maybe this is just what he needs. Give him the rest of the season off. Let him, work on his crafts, right? Get the off season, all that. And maybe, if he's not ready right now, hopefully maybe next season, when next season rolls around, he can be a vital part of this organization. Right? Brian Dable said we'll see on Monday when he was asked about activating Gates, adding that he expected to have that discussion Monday night to determine what the organization would do. Now, all Gates and the rest of us can do is wait to see what the decision is. With a need for depth at guard and center in the wake of Ben Bredeson's injury, there is certainly a place for Gates if the Giants believe he is ready. Gates' recovery is already an incredible story. It might get even better over the next day or so. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, the Giants, let's see here. Yeah. What we got? All right, left tackle. They got Andrew Thomas and Devery Hamilton. Then at left guard, they got Ben Bredesen, right? We'll have to wait and see. Don't know if he'll be playing this weekend. And we got Joshua Zuda, who filled in nicely for him. Okay, nicely. But, I mean, if Bredesen can't play, I mean, we got Joshua Zuda, who's going to back Joshua Zuda up. Then we got Feliciano, all right? Then we got right guard, we got Glowinski and Jack Anderson. Then right tackle, we got Evan Neal. He ain't going to be there, all right? And then we had Tyree Phillips filling for him, but who's behind him, right? That's why we need somebody. If not, I'm sure we're going to call somebody up from the practice squad, which, let's see here. Practice squad. Who do we got? Corey Cunningham. Solomon Kinley. Oh, boy. Let's see here. And Will Holden. We have like 3 offensive linemen, looks like, on the practice squad. All right, so if we can get Nick Gates back and put him on the 53, that would be huge. Then we got also injured reserve, okay? We got, let's not forget about, Matt Parrott. He's supposed to be coming back. I mean, I don't think he's supposed to be out the whole season, as far as I know. But then, of course, let's not forget Shane Lemieux. Something wrong with his toe. Happened in preseason. I mean, he's been out for months. I mean, here we are. It's almost November. He's been out since, I think it's like August, I guess it was. I mean, or September, October. I mean, 2-3 months. I mean, if there's ever a point, because he can come back. All right, he's on injured reserve, and means he has to miss at least 4 games. He's certainly missed 4 games. Same thing with Ellison Smith, although Ellison Smith's not on the offensive line. But Shane Lemieux, he's missed the 4 games, so anytime he can come back and pass a physical and all, he's good to go. But, I mean, I'm not even hearing anything, reading articles and this, that, and the other thing. I'm not hearing anything from him. I'm not hearing anything from Ellison Smith either. I mean, Lord knows what the frick these guys did to themselves, but oh, my God. It'd be simply amazing, wouldn't it, if we can actually start getting some guys back? I mean, the guy's been out for months. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But another thing here, all right, we got, they have in this article, they're talking about, like, the play of the secondary, okay? Because if you look, I mean, the Giants, with Aaron Robinson out, right? Cordell Flott's not in there. I mean, obviously they had to let a bunch of guys. They had to let Bradberry go. They had to let Logan Ryan go. Jabrill Peppers, they couldn't sign him. So they let a bunch of guys go. But, I mean, in this article, they're talking about some of the play from the secondary, how they stepped up. Not only did they step up, I mean, they gave up some yards. Obviously, they gave up quite a few yards. They gave up over 300 yards to Trevor Lawrence. However, Trevor Lawrence's completion percentage was a little over 50%. He was 22 out of 43. Now, Captain Christian Kirk threw a pass as well. So he was 0 for 1. So the Jaguars were 22 out of 44. All right. So they were 50% completion percentage. All right. Very, very impressive. I mean, not the fact the Giants gave up over 300 yards of offense, passing yards, but they didn't give up any time. They had an interception. It was called back because of a bullshit call, right? But Trevor Lawrence had no touchdown passes, and he barely completed 50% of his passes. Okay, so I said in this article they're talking about giving some props, some kudos to the secondary. It says cornerback Adoree Jackson had two critical pass breakups in the fourth quarter on Sunday. Yes, he did. He knocked away a 3rd and 5 pass from Evan Ingram with the Giants leading 27, which forced a punt, which was huge. When the Giants got the ball back, if Saquon Barkley didn't keep running out of bounds, the Giants could have literally ran the clock out, right? Jackson then batted down a Trevor Lawrence pass to Zay Jones in the end zone with 16 seconds left to go. Nick McLeod, they're going to give some props here to McLeod. Okay, I mean, which he should. I mean, we're pulling guys off the practice squad to come in. You know, it's simply amazing. I would love to see some of these other high-profile teams, guys that only have one loss or undefeated teams, play with the guys that the Giants are doing and see how well they would be doing. They wouldn't be. I can guarantee you that. Nick McLeod made 3 huge plays on Sunday. He made a tremendous special team play. McLeod blocked the Jacksonville extra point, right? Subbing at cornerback when Jackson was removed for a concussion check, right? McLeod made 2 big defensive plays. Now, there's, the past couple of weeks, we've had plenty of time in there where the Giants, their top 2 cornerbacks aren't even on the field. Jackson gets hurt and he has to come out, right? And of course, Aaron Robinson's he's on IR, right? So I said, you go take the Eagles, okay? Let's take Slay out. All right, no, sorry, you can't have Slay, and take Bradberry. Sorry, you don't have Bradberry out either, okay? Let's see how well your defense performs. It wouldn't. They're just lucky, okay, because they have no injuries, right? The Giants are truly doing the best that they can, with what they have. Pulling guys off the practice squad. They're playing with backups, sometimes backups to the backups, right? I said the undefeated Eagles have the whole first string. Everybody's just nobody even has a hangnail for the Eagles. Let's see. Now, McLeod made 2 big plays. On McLeod's first defensive snap, the Jaguars challenge him. That's what they do. As soon as they see him coming in the game, it's okay, that's who we're throwing the ball to, right? Challenged him with a deep ball to Marvin Jones. McLeod was perfectly positioned and the ball sailed harmlessly out of bounds. 4 plays later, on a 2nd and 5 from the Giants 25, this was a big one here, okay? Because McLeod knifed across from the opposite side of the field to cut down Captain Kirk a yard short of the first down, which led to 3rd and 1. They didn't make it. 2 plays later, then Trevor Lawrence tried the quarterback sneak. He didn't make it on 4th down and 1, right? It was a game, right? If they went for a field goal there, right? Now it's maybe 23-20, right? The Jaguars get down to after the bullshit penalty calls called against the Giants, the 2 of them on the final drive. Now the Jaguars are in field goal range. Maybe the Jaguars kick a field goal, tie it up, and go in overtime. Lord knows what happens there, especially since the referees decided the Jaguars are supposed to win the game and not the Giants. So we just keep calling plays, penalty after penalty. I'm surprised on the last play of the game when the Giants stopped them short, the refs didn't, oh my God, no, we got to throw a flag on the Giants. We got to keep this game. Jaguars are supposed to win this one. So I love it because certain people can't talk bad about the refs. They'll get fined and stuff like that. But I ain't getting shit done to me. So I can talk all the crap I want about the refs and their crappy play calling, their foul calling, actually garbage, absolutely total trash games that the refs had. So absolutely love it because ain't nothing happening to me. But I mean, just give them some, some kudos to some of the unsung heroes. I mean, we gave up a lot of yards, but only gave up 17 points. As I said, we had 2 edge rushers who weren't playing, right? Our second best cornerback's not there. Leo Lyons coming back from the knee. I'm not sure, if he's 100% or whatever, and he's out there trying his ass off. And he had a decent game, okay. But the Giants have a bunch of injuries, and they did a very, very, very good job. Then they also talk about Kayvon Thibodeau here, right? He only has 1 sack, and actually it wasn't even a sack. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. It was just where he knocked the ball away. So he hasn't actually gone to a quarterback, wrapped his arm around a quarterback, and taken the quarterback down to the ground yet, okay? Which was the game-deciding strip sack of Lamar Jackson a week ago. But if you don't realize that Thibodeau is having a huge impact, then I have a question if you understand what you're watching. Let's see. They showed right here, Nick Filato shows Thibodeau's week 7 snaps as a pass rusher. Since returning from injury, Thibodeau has 14 pressures on 140 pass rushing reps. So basically 10%. Okay. Nothing super duper spectacular. Okay. But they also have a stat right here. Seth Walder. Highest pass rush win rates at edge in week 7 through the late afternoon window. He has best pass rush win rate. I can't say that 10 times real fast. I can tell you that much. Let's see here. We got Thibodeau was number 5. His pass rush win rate was 31.6%. Rashawn Gary was number 1 at 58.3. Jesus God. Yeah, Ngakoue was 50%. Ebiketie from Atlanta, 36.4. Justin Houston was 33.3, but Kayvon Thibodeau was 31.6%. So he was doing good. He was doing good, and they showed it in this article here. It showed all his pass rushes, and he was getting some he was getting some pressure in there for sure. I also hope that by now people have realized that questions about Thibodeau's motor coming out of Oregon appear to be nonsense. Look at this stuff from Thibodeau on Sunday. Yeah, I mean, there was one he ran the ball carrier down like 20, 30 yards down the field. So right. It also shows here, it shows from Lawrence Tynes. He shows Giants first round pick is so fun to watch on film. Energy and effort jump off the tape. Don't get into stat lines. Kayvon Thibodeau was a disruptive force, blowing up blocks, chasing down backs, and pressuring the quarterback. Should have had a few more holding calls, of course, but the refs were too busy calling all the penalties, on I guess the Giants. But Kayvon, he's doing good. I mean, hopefully, once he's, I guess if he is injured, it's still coming back, or he's getting his football legs underneath him, whatever. Hopefully he'll only get better. But I mean, this year is the first year. I mean, hopefully grab a couple sacks. Maybe if we're lucky, maybe we get Azeez healthy before the season's over with. Wouldn't that be a freaking miracle? But we'll see. Right. Hopefully he gets better at his craft, and as things go by, he'll start getting better and better. Now they got the Giants scheduling surgery, all right, for Daniel Bellinger, and they wind up adding a tight end, to the practice squad. All right. Now he winds up being a familiar face, right? Giants rookie tight end Daniel Bellinger will undergo surgery Thursday to repair the fractured eye socket he sustained after being jabbed in the left eye by Jaguars linebacker during Sunday's game. A source indicated that Bellinger is hopeful that he will be able to return this season and possibly as early as the team's Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys in Dallas, which would be great. Because you figure, we got the one game here, okay? Then we got a bye week. So if he can make it back in time for the Cowboys, he'll only miss 3 games, right? He'll miss the Seahawks. Then we got a bye. Then we play the Texans and the Lions at home, okay? Then we play the Cowboys. So he'll only miss 3 games, possibly, okay? And the 3 games we wind up missing, I'm certainly not saying we're going to win them all or whatever. But, they are winnable games, okay? They're not against the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? As expected, the Giants moved quickly to add a tight end to the roster Tuesday. The team added Andre Miller to the practice squad to give themselves some depth at tight end. Miller was in training camp with the Giants this summer after playing his collegiate career as a wide receiver with Maine. In 4 seasons with the Black Bears, the 6'3", nice size. Maybe not so much for a tight end. I mean, 6'3", 220 pounds. Okay, so he's not somebody who's going to go in there in the line of scrimmage and start bowling guys over, all right? He's not Mark Bavaro. But in college, Miller caught 104 passes for 1,848 yards and 14 touchdowns. He was placed on a season-ending injury reserve with a forearm injury when the Giants trimmed the roster to 80 players this summer and later gave him his release. Now, Coach Dable said Monday he did not know the timetable for Bellinger's return from eye surgery, but it's safe to assume he will be out an extended period. The Giants have 2 tight ends, Chris Myrick and Tanner Hudson. Tell you what, put Chris Myrick and Tanner Hudson on any other team and see how well those teams do, right? Those are the only 2 guys I have on the active roster. And Miller joins Lawrence Kager, I believe it is, on the practice squad. Bellinger, of course, has been in the midst of a terrific rookie season before he jabbed in the eye after making a 13-yard reception from Daniel Jones. The Giants would probably love to replace Bellinger with a more high-profile tight end before the November 1st trade deadline, but they only have $2.7 million in salary cap space. If Bellinger can return after just a 3-game absence, it would be a huge lift for the Giants, which would mean, it would be 4, but they got the bye week. Okay. So it's only going to be a 3-game absence. Okay. So, one of them is against the Texans at home. Another one's against the Lions at home. Right. Winnable games. Certainly not saying we're going to win them, but they are winnable games. Okay. So if he can come back in time to play against the Cowboys, because Cowboys have a very good defense, right? That would be huge. Giants also have another roster decision to make Wednesday concerning offensive lineman Nick Gates, who is attempting to come back from 7 surgeries after being sidelined by his leg injury in week 2. Giants have to decide by tomorrow to either place him on the active roster or return him to the physically unable to perform list for the remainder of the season. If he's healthy, he could add line depth at a time when the team is down 2 starters. That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. After Ben Bredesen and Evan Neal suffered knee injuries Sunday in Jacksonville. The nice thing about that also, okay, let's not forget is that, the Giants in the fourth quarter, I think they threw 7 passes, I think it was, in the second half. And I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, they threw 1 pass in the fourth quarter. I mean, you can just see. I mean, they ran, it was like 8 plays in a row. On like the final drive, it was pretty much the same kind of run formation. And Saquon, after the game was over, was saying he didn't think that the Jaguars kind of picked up on what they were doing until it was like, they say maybe like the 6th or 7th time they ran it. They were just, it was kind of the same formation. Maybe they're putting different guys in motion or whatever. One at a time, at least one at a time. Daniel Jones faked it to Saquon. Of course, everybody on the Jaguars followed Saquon, right? Daniel Jones came scrambling out. Daniel Jones ran down the field. I think it's 20 yards, I think it was. Slid in bounds, keep the clock running, get the first down, right? Which is what Saquon should have done. He ran out of bounds. Now, I mean, if you want to, to his credit or whatever, he was running his ass off. He got a bunch of yards. One time I know he got a first down, but the thing was he got, and he's running at the side. You gotta stay in bounds. You can't run full bore. I mean, even if it means taking 2 or 3 less yards, if you can run 40 more seconds off that clock. I mean, he ran out of bounds 2 times, stopped the clock. You realize we could have ran like 1 minute and 20 off the clock? I mean, the Jaguars would never have gotten the ball back. We could have maybe ran the clock out. It would have been 20-17. Wouldn't have no need to kick the field goal or nothing. Right? But 2 times in a row, he ran out of bounds and stopped the clock. I mean, you got to, But I mean, what the Giants were doing was that, they kept running the same formation. It was I think it was 8 times in a row. Even Dan Orlovsky, he had a video he was showing that. It was on Twitter, might have been, showing the same kind of formation. The Giants kept running the same thing over and over and over and over. And they just kept running the ball. Finally, the Jaguars stopped them. Okay. But, the damage was done, and the damage should have been done. Okay. As I said, if Saquon would have stayed in bounds, but he didn't. You can be honestly sure that somebody told him or he knows or whatever, you got to stay in bounds, dude. But it is what it is. The Giants wind up with the W. No thanks to the refs either, but the Giants got the W. But, I mean, one nice thing is that even after Bredesen and Neal went down, okay, now part of that maybe we just kept running the ball was maybe to try to tire them out, but also was maybe so we didn't put Daniel Jones in harm's way by trying to stand back there and pass the ball a lot. because maybe Phillips and Azudu maybe are not at the top of their games as far as pass blocking. Okay, that might have been another reason why we kept running the ball. But, yeah, but at least when we kept running the ball, all right, it was with those two guys in there. So, right. But so tomorrow we're going to find out the fate of Nick Gates. He's either going to be on the roster for the remainder of the season. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt again. Or if not, he's off, right, for the rest of the season. And hopefully we'll see him back next season, right, where he can help this team out, right, like we know he can. But so that'll be, I don't know, 15 hours from now, so whatever. We'll find out about the fate of Nick Gates, because the Giants certainly could use some help on the offensive line. Well, guys, it's been almost 31 minutes. I'm going to shoot my mouth off. Anybody at all spent any time watching this? Guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Or anybody watches any of this on the replay, once again, from the bottom of my heart, you guys absolutely rock. You guys are the best. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh.